and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another book unhaul, and I did one recently, it was maybe about 2 months ago, but I'm getting really bold with just like deciding that I no longer want to own some books because my shelves are kind of full. Well, they were full and then I got rid of quite a lot. As you can see, I have some space now. Today the books I'm going to talk about are a mix of ones that I've very recently decided I'm going to get rid of, and also ones that I decided I was going to get rid of a very long time ago, but I just never had a chance to because of COVID and places being shut and things like that. So yeah, some of them are quite old, other ones are very recent. Also, a little disclaimer, just because I didn't like the books or I no longer feel like reading them doesn't mean that they're bad, doesn't mean that you won't like them. So yeah. So I'll start with the ones I recently decided to get rid of, the most recent being The Selection. I read this back in July last year and I didn't like it. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. However, I was holding on to it because I used it in quite a few of my videos and TikToks and things like that. However, I haven't really done that recently and I'm never going to read it again ever. I'm not going to continue the series, so I just didn't really see the point of holding on to it. The next one I'm quite scared to talk about because it's very popular, but that's the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu. I've read the first one. I've attempted to read the second one, but it's just not for me. I didn't enjoy the first book. I just feel like I had read it before. It was very 2012, which isn't the book's fault because it was written in 2012, so back then it would have been more new and exciting, but in 2021 it's just a bit overdone. And I don't really have any motivation to continue the trilogy, and it's just been sitting on my shelf making me feel like I have to read it, but I just have no motivation to do it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. It's fine, someone else will enjoy it more than I will. So the next ones are ones that I decided to get rid of last year. So first is What If It's Us. This one I picked up actually a very long time ago. I think it was maybe 2.5 years ago, something like that. And I started it, I think I got like 50 pages in and I just wasn't hooked. I just have no motivation to read it at all. I've heard very mixed reviews about this. It's written by both Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and I've enjoyed books by both of those authors, but a lot of people have said the same thing, but they didn't like this collaboration, if that makes sense. So I just don't really fancy it. I've tried to read it a few times and it's just not hooked me. So I just thought, what's the point in holding on to it if you know you're not going to enjoy it. Next up is a book that I got about halfway through and I just completely gave up and just don't really want to pick it back up again because I've saw the movie, I know what happens, and that is To All the Boys I Loved Before. This, I mean, it wasn't bad, I was kind of enjoying it, but I just prefer my contemporaries to be a bit darker. I don't really enjoy fluffy contemporaries, and that's kind of what this is. Also, I just genuinely really liked the movie, so like, I know it's a bit controversial, but because I've seen the movie I just don't feel the need to read this. Next up is a book I've genuinely never seen anywhere, and I'm kind of tempted to hold on to it for a bit longer because it's been a while since I tried to read it, and that is Moondust. I've genuinely never seen it anywhere. It's like a sci-fi story. I mean, obviously it looks like it's set in space. I got like 50 pages in and I found it just very confusing. I didn't really like the writing, but now I'm considering giving it a second go because it is only really short and who knows, I might end up loving it the second time round. But as of now, I'm putting it in the unhaul pile. The next one is also a very popular book that I'm scared to mention, and that is Northern Lights. I know this is very popular. I'm not sure what it's called in America. I know it has a different name, but it's very iconic, I guess. I feel like it's very well known and that's why I was so excited for it. The cover is stunning. I was ready and then I read it. I think I got like 150 pages in and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It kind of put me in a huge reading slump. This was back in September last year and I actually only read 7 books in September. I know that's quite a lot, but for someone who read like 16 books the previous month, that was quite bad for me. And this book certainly contributed to that. I just spent ages on it and only got halfway through, so I decided to put it down and I don't think I'll pick it back up, to be honest. The next one is probably the oldest book that I've had on my shelf, and that is Fangirl. This book was very popular back in like 2014 and 15. I actually got it around then. I read like 2 chapters, and back then I wasn't much of a reader, so I just put it down and forgot about it. And I've had it on my shelves ever since then. You can tell it's the oldest by the yellow pages. I just had no motivation to read this. I don't like Rainbow Rowell. I've not enjoyed most of her books, to be honest, so I just don't feel like picking this one up, and hopefully someone else will like it more than I would. Okay, this last one's quite funny. There's nothing wrong with the book itself, it was just my fault, to be honest, and that is Love and Luck. This is like a companion novel to Love and Gelato, which is a book I read last year and gave 5 out of 5 stars, which is why I immediately bought this. I was so excited. I still want to read it, I really do, but what I didn't notice is that I bought this book in Polish and I don't speak Polish. I literally did not notice until I opened it up and just realised that I didn't understand a word of it. I bought this, I think I bought it second hand online, and I obviously just didn't look at the details. If I did, I would have bought an English version. So yeah, obviously I can't keep this because I won't understand it at all, and maybe I'll pick up the English version at some point. So yeah, that's all the books I'm thinking of getting rid of. Let me know if you think I should keep any of them. The one I'm most inclined to keep is the Moondust one, mainly because I feel like I didn't give it a fair shot and it's been so long since I tried to, so maybe I'll hold on to that one, not 100% sure, but the rest I'm going to give away, and it'll be nice to have more space to buy new books that I am excited for. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!